Hello guys! How are you doing today? Probably better than me, honestly. Because I've just returned from the police. I lost my wallet today with a lot of cash, all my documents, my new seasonal tickets, all the paperwork for my car, everything. But thankfully, good people still exist, and there was this lovely elderly couple who found my wallet and turned it to the nearest police station, and yikes! Not a great experience, but good people exist, and so on to better things. Today the NYC Expansion was released, and I'm super thrilled about that one, actually. And I was going to do a blind race today, but I completely wrecked my legs on the weekend. On Saturday I've done the workout of the week. I don't know if you have done that, but it was 2 hours, and it was really quite difficult, actually. And yesterday I've done about 1.5 hours in upper zone 2, and my legs are so sore it wouldn't make sense to race today. So I told myself I would take this opportunity and savor the experience and do the long ride, because I tried to not watch any videos, any screenshots, so I have no idea what to expect. And it is going to be going blind into it for myself, and I hope I will be able to share some initial thoughts, and I think that could be a lot of fun. No, it's not. It was not a handbag. I've got a standard wallet, but I've had all my credit cards in there, my ID, my driver's license, like everything important that I have in terms of documents, and on top of that, a ton of cash, because today I withdrew from the ATM because I need to make some cash down payment in the coming days. So it was probably the worst time to lose a wallet, but we were walking our dog. We were on in a remote area, and I don't know how it happened. If it fell out of my pocket or from my treat bag or whatever. I don't know what happened, but there is one saying in Czechia that says something along the lines of if the end is good, all is good. So that's pretty much the situation. I didn't do the fondo. I wanted to do the fondo yesterday, but I've actually missed. I actually missed the time slot, and yesterday I've completely leveled my. Let me show you my climbing bike, Zwift climbing bike. So it's at level 5, and what's remaining for me? It's trail bike, 6 hours, and about 100 kilometers of the carbon bike, which I'm going to use today. because I want to get this over with, actually. So I'm going to use this one. And that's the plan for today. And tomorrow I'm going to do the race, and I'm going to do the highest category I can enter. The one like from 520 to 725. Hopefully I won't be that sore tomorrow anymore. Today I was like limping. I'm not injured. I'm not riding through an injury, but I'm really sore. That workout of the week was brutal. So that was a long way to say hi. Welcome everyone. Glad you're here. Yeah, I really want to do the Fondo, but I think there are going to be many opportunities to do so. So today we are doing the Greenway route, which is basically, let me show you. This is the map. This is the new map of, oh, this is not the map. Let me show you. This is, I was not looking at the screenshot, but I was looking at this map. This is the map of the New York City expansion. There are all the colored parts are new. And basically this route we are doing today should be this bottom half. So I think we are not doing Times Square today, and I think we are not doing Subway 1. But apart from that, we should do everything, both bridges, maybe from both sides, I'm not sure at this point. But we are doing whole Brooklyn, so that should be a lot of fun. I think we are starting in the Prospect Park, actually. And that might not be true either. Like I said, I didn't read anything about it. I wanted to go to be surprised, but this doesn't look like Central Park, so I believe this is the Prospect Park. So this is going to be ride along, like first impression ride. I'm going to do this one again, probably on Friday, to race it. And tomorrow I'm going to race the short one. Steve, how you did in advance anyway? That's, if you've already done that, that must have been an experience, right? There is a lot of people in this. Obviously, people are excited about this. And so am I, actually. I was really looking forward to this expansion because I love New York City map. And basically this expansion like doubles it, more than doubles it in size. So it should be really good riding in New York City, and hopefully it will be featured in a lot of events. And there are advanced races every hour? I thought there weren't, but wasn't it like every 4 hours or something? Anyway, good luck. I didn't do any warm-up, but I don't think I need a warm-up for a Recon ride. Anyway, this is not a race, but like always, this stream is sponsored by Turborox. If you want to increase your comfort on a bike, like I do today, because I'm really sore, go to turborox.com, take a look at their rocker plates. You can get 4% off any of their rocker plates with the code RoadtoA, and I think you will be very happy with them. We've got both in our household. One for myself, one for my wife. We both love it. And especially today when I'm sore as hell from my weekend workouts, I can appreciate every bit of help. So thanks, Turbox. By the way, one more information. From yesterday up until November 9th, you can get 20% of the Wahoo Kicker Core 2 on the Zwift website using one of my discount codes in the description. It is a time-limited offer for 2 weeks. Since today it is 13 days. So if you are looking to get the new trainer, this 2-week period is the best way to do it. You've got links for all regions in the description. There should be plenty of stock, so go ahead. Forget about it. It's the best name of the route.
Right on.
Yeah. Today I'm treating it like I'm supposed to. I'm super excited about the Let Up the Tour. I will need to train a lot for it, but I think that's going to be once in a lifetime experience, and obviously I look forward to meeting you guys, all of you who will attend it as well. I think I already rode Galibier and Alpe d'Huez, and I'm not really mad or anything that Alpe d'Huez isn't featured in all entirety, because the most exciting part is the top of the climb, and that is included, but the bottom part, bottom 2/3, are like nothing special. So Col de Seren is I think better choice, and I'm glad they did it this way. And the Alpe d'Huez finish is going to be really epic, but I think the finish is enough. Obviously, Galibier is the most epic experience you can have as a cyclist. I insist on that. And Croix de Fer is incredible climb as well. Very, very picturesque. I don't think I will have a lot of opportunities to stop and take pictures there, because obviously I need to make the time limit. But obviously I'm taking my cameras with me, and so see you in half an hour, Steve. Good luck at your meeting. So this is the Prospects Park of the new New York City map. It's like a big loop. I think this part right here is going to be very similar to Central Park, which isn't like surprising since it's both are parks. But it looks like we've got a KOM on the way. I don't know if it's one of the bridges. Looks like it might be one of the bridges. So I need to take really leisurely pace today, because With my legs today, I would literally not be able to race. And I want to tomorrow, so I think going easy is going to clear the trash out of my legs. Or at least I'm telling myself that. I don't remember visiting this park when I was in NYC, actually. We were in Brooklyn, but only in the park that's right behind Brooklyn Bridge. Oh, there's a doggo and another one. Okay, this map is already epic. It got dogs. Oh yeah. And I'm treating it as a sort of Recon for tomorrow's race. Because obviously, when I'm racing, I won't be able to enjoy the little details. So I at least want to find out about what are the tricky parts. I think the bridges are going to be and is the climb friendly the bridge? Because I cannot imagine many places in New York City that would be 20% apart from the bridges. It looks hilly. And actually the group is going fairly fast. I'm doing like upper zone 1, lower zone 2, and I'm at the bottom of the group. It's not the bridge, okay. I love how there is like a music festival sort of stage, and there are riders and runners on it. And people are turned the other way. They are not interested in that performance. Yeah, so this is like a park loop. We got 5 kilometers. No, this is one of the rare occasions when I am treating a group ride like a ride. That might not happen ever again, so enjoy it, guys. I wanted to race today, but I wrecked my legs in the workouts on the weekend. And today I was still so sore, I was limping outside, so it wouldn't be a good idea to go through max effort. Oh, why does Trump want to build the Arc de Triomphe. They've got that, apparently. I read some news that he wants to build one, but apparently they have that already. I don't know if it's real in that park. Washington Square Park, is this the one? Is this the one with all the chess hustlers? Okay, so now we are probably entering the subway. It's real arch, okay. So we are now entering the subway apparently. And in this subway, there should be the new power segments. So until now, obviously all sprint segments were based on time. But now they're going to be power-based. There should be leaderboards. It should be really interesting, actually. No, that was Terence. Don't worry, that was the pinnacle of my political talk. Yeah, this is easy ride for me. So obviously this is Zwift's way to connect the Brooklyn with Manhattan and other parts without needing to model whole of New York City and Manhattan, which I am fine with. I would like to go in the group in front of us, but I really don't want to go hard today. I need to rest my legs today. If I want to compete tomorrow. How many of you guys have done the workout of the week last week? Was it just me, or was that thing like stupidly difficult? Like the last FTP interval, 10-minute interval, that was brutal. I was barely moving my legs. Oh, so now we have another London-style ramp. I see. That's another place for possible attacks. Unless this somehow helps us. Does it help us? Yeah, it does. It actually does. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's good. Those things are good to know before racing. It was a similar ramp out of the subway as is on London, in London, but this one had a moving platform that helps you. So you don't need to do like 10 watts per kilo to keep momentum. Yeah, it was 2 hours long, and they weren't too chilled hours. They were brutal 2 hours. But I finished leveling my climbing bike while doing so, so that was a good thing. So it looks like we are entering one of the bridges today. So this is the Manhattan Bridge, obviously. Yeah, it's like a booster. Yeah, like a moving, like a conveyor belt or something. I would prefer if they did the bridges crossings on top on the walkways, because you would have better views of the city, obviously. But that would also mean that they would need to model more of the surroundings. So I can understand why are they doing it this way, but right now we have good views of the Brooklyn Bridge and lower Manhattan. Looks like this is an uphill sprint segment. So let's see if we are going to get some power PB, or if it's only in the subway, I don't know. Let's cash in some power up. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Joe, I think that's a pretty common thing. I don't think I've visited like 50% of the, sites and monuments in Prague. And I live here my whole life. And there are people who travel here around the globe. So let's try to get into this group in front of me. So I have some drafting. I think I can do that in zone 2 with aero boost. It's still pretty hot here. That's pretty accurate since we are doing New York subways. For those of you who haven't visited New York City, the subways in there are so insanely hot. It's because obviously all the trains are running AC, and the tunnels and stations aren't ready for, ventilating that hot fumes. So all the stations in New York City subway are super, super hot. John Lennon Wall is actually one of the sites I've seen in person. But I've never been inside of Prague Castle, for example. Never. We've been talking about going there for about 5 years with my wife already. Oh, that sucks, Joe. Hopefully you'll be fine again soon. It is true that I've already started supplementing all the vitamins that you can get, because after last winter, when I've been more sick than not sick, and here we have the famous transparent roads. I don't mind them, actually. And I think, oh, this is the start of the KOM. Okay. I walked the Brooklyn Bridge twice in my life. Once in 2016, and once about 1 month ago. And in 2016, it was way more exciting because now it was completely covered in people. It was like the busiest place on the planet. And I don't remember it being so 10 years ago, 9 years ago. Okay, so it is a virtual climb. That's why I was confused why there is a steep KOM in New York City. Thank you very much, JB. Appreciate it. Thanks for the donation. Yeah, Prague is a very elevation heavy city. It will be all KOMs. So here's the thing. Czech beer is fairly different, the German one. So you would still get something from the experience. The sites are beautiful as well, obviously, but I get the desire to visit for beer. Just to get the Pilsner from the tank is a nice experience. Rural Ohio. Yeah. I don't see that being like top 3 on their list of priorities, if I'm being honest. Maybe top 5. I would like them to, I would like them to add the Montmartre climb in Paris, which was featured in Tour de France and will be featured next year as well. That would be really fun addition to the Paris map, and obviously have the Paris map connected to France. Gravel expansion. I don't know, man. I mean, like, what's the point of gravel on Zwift? Gravel is fun in real life, don't get me wrong, but what I think of RoadtoA, I think it is a nice project. It's Czech, so you know, I always support local projects, but I don't see the appeal. Like, personally, I feel like Zwift is more realistic than RoadtoA, because I don't know how to describe it. And obviously I ride on Zwift mainly for the social factor, right? Mainly for the races and stuff like that. That's not that present on RoadtoA. But for training and seeing the famous climbs, sure, why not? I don't feel I need to cycle in silence because I'm not riding in a high effort. This is pretty chill ride for me, so I can talk all the time. So we are going back to Brooklyn, looks like. The problem with climbs, modeled climbs in France is, as bad as it will sound, I don't think there is enough demand for them. Obviously, I would be all over them if they modeled like Galibier, Croix de Fer, Granon, Glandon, whatever, like, Grand Colombier, Tourmalet, everything. It would be perfect for me and for many people. Probably not for the average Zwifter, though. Like, to ride up such climbs is like not particularly easy. So, would a majority of the Zwift population do them? So the Zwift can, really put the resources into modeling them with clear expectations of return? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, exactly. I think Vantu is deserted because it's pretty boring until the deserted part at the top. Because Vantu for the first 12 kilometers is like riding uphill in a forest. I think if they model Galibier, it would be better, because Galibier is like riding on a moon. There's my wife. Your Zwift bike vibrates? I don't know. Like my wife has a Zwift ride, and that's like the most silent thing I've ever heard. So, do you have all the spacers and things installed? I don't think it should vibrate heavily. Certainly not more than standard bike, and probably way less. Oh, well, I appreciate it. Hopefully you will be able to sort it out. I would hate, if you were disappointed in that. But really, the Zwift ride my wife has, it's like dead silent. You can barely hear it even without fans running, so. Yeah. Rocker plates will reduce the noise, for sure. From any bike. I mean, if I were you, I would go through the manual, through the online tutorials one more time to make sure you've got everything installed correctly. I think you need to put proper spacers in there, and based on your trainer, you either need to put the foot extension or not. And if it still makes noise, just contact the support. And I think they will be happy to help you. I think Zwift support is incredible. But I think it should be pretty much silent. So let's get to Champs-Élysées. Oh, it's Washington Square, right? I didn't see the reply. Is this the square with all the chess activity? With the hustlers and... I do like the route. It's something new, and new is always good, right? I think the Prospect Park part is going to be the most boring because it's just a park. But are most Zwifters European? I don't know. My guess would be no, because most of my, and obviously it's anecdotal, right? But most of my audience on YouTube is from US and Canada. But maybe just, maybe just that's just a watch behavior and not riding behavior. I don't know. Aren't those Zwift headphones too hot? No, not at all. Those pads are from silicon, and it has like, I don't know if it's the property of silicon or if it has some cooling agent, but I never was hot with those headphones, not once. It's actually quite comfy to have them. Well, honestly, there are two things, right? If your neighbors are bugging you about riding from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., I would say just like tell them off, because like you are not like disrupting their sleep or anything. So they might be like just looking for an argument maybe. But I still don't think they should be able to hear it. So try the mats that you bought. I think that's a good step to good solution, good attempt. And if it doesn't help, feel free to make a recording of that and send it to me on Discord or anything, and I can take a look at that and see if that's something that I would expect. But unless your floors are like from paper, I don't think your neighbors should be able to hear you riding. Unless you are screaming like every time you hit the KOM, but... Yeah, you need a proper mat. Not yoga mat. That's a different thing. You need the one that you put under exercise equipment. The one from Zwift is really good. You can get one from Wahoo that is also really good. My wife has one from Decathlon. That is okay, although not as good as the Zwift one. See ya, JB. Thank you for the donation once again. Appreciate it. So what I like about this map is it has a lot of docks. That's a huge plus. For dishwashers, yeah, I think that could work. Oh, Kubo. Yeah, your Zwift ride shouldn't be as loud as your washing machine. If it is, there is something wrong with it. The trainer feet should be level. Make sure you've got all the spacers. If you are using the Zwift cock, make sure you have got it in the one position, in the position number 1. What else? Based on your trainer, take a look if you don't need the feet extension, the foot extension on Zwift Ride in front that you can find in the package. And obviously, if you are like heavy sprinting and you move your trainer, then only thing that can help is a rocker plate to which you strap it. But I think that's like a last resort for this kind of problem. Doubling your rocker plate. Just vibrations. Well, I think that the mat should help with that, actually. Cock number 1 is only applicable if you have Zwift Ride. And the reason is the Zwift Ride is manufactured in a way that if you have your Zwift cock on number 1, you've got the most smooth position of the chain. No other reason. If you do not have Zwift Ride, just set your cock to whatever feels the best. But if you are using it with Zwift Ride, you are supposed to set it on 1. Yeah, exactly. Buy an electric guitar and good combo, and they will beg for your Zwift Ride. So I assume now we are doing the same loop, but in reverse. So I assume now we will go up the Brooklyn Bridge and back on Manhattan Bridge. And obviously this is only about half of the expansion. The other half is locked currently, I think. And will be unlocked next week. Yeah, no worries. Like I said, feel free to film yourself riding and send me the video on Discord. You can find me there as RoadtoA. I'll be happy to take a look at that and tell you if there is something wrong with your setup or with your neighbors. So we are going back to the subway, and I assume we will go back the other way right now. So we'll go on the Brooklyn Bridge from the other side and on Manhattan Bridge from the other side as well. Not today, but I actually, I would like to, but I really need to save my legs for tomorrow. And I will race the other part tomorrow, so nothing is going to be missing. And on Friday, I'm actually going to race this one. So obviously that is going to be way faster than what I'm doing today, because this is a leisurely ride. I don't have my own Discord server. I wanted to set up one, but then I got too lazy. I might do it eventually. I just need to figure out how. My favorite topic, Tour de France route. Thanks for this question, I love it. I think it is designed in a way so Tadej Pogačar doesn't win early. That would be probably my best description. Obviously, you've got two brutal stages, stage 19 and 20. Actually, the first one isn't that brutal, but stage 20 is insane. It's the one that we are doing. And we have a nice Pyrenees stage that is fairly reminiscent of what we had this year. I believe there is Col d'Aspin and Col de Tourmalet, but it is not finishing on Super Barnieres, but elsewhere. We've got several nice climbs, but what we are missing, I think, is any stage in the middle, in the week 1 or 2, that has the potential to be decisive. Obviously, this year we've got the Peyragudes time trial. We've had the insane Pyrenees stage. We've got Mont Ventoux. I think we are missing something like that next year, and all the decisive action is going to be packed into week 3. And I think it is by design, because obviously when Pogačar goes and wins the Tour in the middle of week 2, it gets a little boring. So I think the route designers tried to go as hard as possible to combat that. Hey, Artur. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. They could do a death pool for Puck to get yellow in stage 1, but it's not going to be decisive. Yellow. You know what I mean? I think they are fine if Pogačar has yellow throughout the race. They are just not happy that he has 5-minute lead at stage 11 or something like that. No, the rider with the best time. So, the winner of the best team. I think next year's tour is going to have the most exciting climax from the recent years, because in the last few years the tour was already decided going into stage 20. I think no one will have a safe lead after stage 19 next year. Not even Pogačar. Even if he's up by 4 minutes, he can easily lose 4 minutes in the stage 20 if if he has a bad day or something. And once again, I think that was the design. Yeah, it is based on the first rider, yeah. The times are taken separately for each rider. So basically the team is like your lead-out train. But not more. There is not the World Trade Center? Does it seem so? Okay, this is actually better than what was on the screenshots. On the few screenshots I saw, it looked like when you are traversing Brooklyn Bridge, you will be riding in a enclosed environment. So I'm glad you are at least somewhat able to, take an outside look. It is very hard, yeah. I agree. I don't mind route like this because I'm not like watching Tour de France only for the thrill, but also for the views. Like, I love watching the French countryside. I love France, so I'm perfectly happy to chill by the TV for the first 2 weeks and then watch the final week as a sports competition. Obviously, I won't chill by the TV for the first 2 weeks because I'm going to be traveling for the let-up. So maybe if I can catch something in the hotel or... It is. I think for the current setup of riders, I think it is a good design. Especially if you have a rider like Pogačar. The question is if he's going to ride the Tour. I've seen some rumors he might be doing Giro and Vuelta double. I don't see how the sponsors would allow him to do that, but obviously he's like one of the kind rider, and if he insists on that, I think they will need to allow him to do that. As far as I know, Pogačar doesn't like Tour de France whatsoever. He doesn't like France.
Right on.
$75K until the final upgrade. Then I will need to do the final upgrade of the time trial bike, and then I will be finally able to start working on the Tron. Looking forward to do that. I'm missing my Tron. I'm not missing it for the performance, but obviously that's a bike I worked really hard for. So I would like to be able to ride it again. I think so too. I don't see the team allowing him that either. But if he says like, I'm simply not doing it, and you can either have me riding Giro and Vuelta or not riding at all, because I have a lot of money already, what are they going to do? Like, and I think there will be many teams more than happy to pay him out of any potential penalties for that. So I think Tadej Pogačar is so good rider, he can make the terms, basically. I love Del Toro. I was actually cheering super hard for Del Toro in Giro. I was quite disappointed that he didn't push in the final stage. Was happy for Simon Yates because I like the guy as well, but I was cheering for Del Toro, and I think he has a lot of potential. The guy is super young, and he already has great results. And he's learning from the best. So I think he has the talent and the lack potential. And if Pogačar teaches him the mental game, he's going to be full rider very soon. Yeah, we don't know his contract. Maybe the penalties for unsubordination are so severe, even he wouldn't be able to do that. But then again, he can make, if he wants to. I'm not saying he's a guy that would do such thing, but if he wants to do like a sort of media pressure, you know, I think rider of his caliber has a lot of bullets in his arsenal to do whatever he wants. But then again, I agree with you. I think he will ride the Tour, and I think he will have to ride the Tour, but there were some rumors that he wants to do the Giro Vuelta double. Yeah, it's like they tailor-made the Vuelta for him. They couldn't make it any more clear they want him to ride there. And I think he ultimately wants the Vuelta win. And it is very difficult to do so after Tour. Obviously Jonas did that this year, but you know, I wasn't under impression that Jonas would do like a crazy, some crazy efforts. I know he did, but I was just super disappointed about Jonas's performance this year. And I think the next year's Worlds, that course is tailor-made for Tadej as well. Yeah, Joe, I wish so too. That would be really epic. And I've heard he wanted to do that as well. There was just this pressure from his team because other riders wanted to compete as well, which is understandable. But I don't think that he is going to ride until 2030. I think it's 2, maybe 3 seasons for him. But it looks like the guy is getting really, burnt out really fast. And I think he's going to be the guy that is going to finish at the top and will say, I've done everything I wanted. I'm the best. See you. For me, Vuelta is sort of difficult to watch because it is very close to the Tour, and compared to the Tour, it is almost always underwhelming in terms of the riders, in terms, you are like, you are filled with cycling content throughout the year. Giro has, is similar to Vuelta in this regard, but it's at the beginning of the season, so you are still parched for cycling content. But when Vuelta takes place, you are sort of like tired already. He is a modern day Eddy Merckx, yeah. I think Tadej Pogačar is the greatest cyclist that ever was. And I think it will be really hard to dethrone him, actually. Because he's just super versatile, and he's super versatile in some heavy competition. Like, he can do fantastic in Grand Tours when there is Jonas, Remco, Primož, and he can also do great in monuments when Mathieu is his main rival, which is fantastic rider as well. I think he's a whole package. Yeah, exactly, Grand Tour fatigue. I struggle to watch Vuelta as well, for this exact reason. Okay, so now we will go to the subway for the last time. I think this is a nice loop. But what I'm most excited about this expansion is the routes that combine the Central Park content with the new one. Obviously, I hope the new route, Forget About It, is going to be featured in one of the races fairly soon, because I think that's going to be awesome. And if it's not, I will probably ride it myself. I think Pogačar is sometimes out of form, but his out of form is still so strong, we just don't perceive it as such. Just remember his time trial during Dauphiné. That was a disaster. By his standards, it was still a really good time trial, but by his standards, that was a disaster. The problem is he doesn't have a real challenger. For 2 years it was Jonas, but I think at this point it is safe to say it was not because Jonas was so strong by that point, but that he didn't have a good coaching program. And obviously Jonas had that horrible crash that impacted a lot of things, just to be fair towards him. But I think if Pogačar finished his career, it would be quite similar during Grand Tours, because only Jonas would dominate. Mind games, maybe. Or the time trial of the worlds, yeah. But then again, 1 week later, he nuked the whole field, so... See you, Terence. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully see you tomorrow. So this was a nice introduction to the New York City expansion. We are still missing some regions that are going to be unlocked next week and the week after. I don't know when all of the new routes are going to be available. But obviously today it was just a Recon, easy effort. Tomorrow we are going to be racing in the highest category I can enter, which is the 520 to 725. And we will be doing this one again, but as a race on Friday. So everything is going to be on stream. So there is one stream tomorrow, one stream on Friday. So hope you guys will join again. For those of you who weren't here at the start, there is now 2-week promotion until November 9th, when you can get 20% off the Wahoo Kicker Core 2, the new one, on the Zwift website using one of my discount links in the description. There should be enough stock. So if you are thinking about getting a new trainer, this is a solid choice and for a really good price. Also, don't forget to check out the TurboRox rocker plates, which is this live stream sponsor. I can tell you that when you are super tired like I am today, it is very nice to have as much help as possible, because my legs are wrecked. So I'm really glad I don't need to battle additional force. Yeah, so that's the finish. Thanks, Joe. I love it too, but then again, I wouldn't enter such partnership if I didn't truly believe in the product, because obviously, like, you know, your trust is way more important than any like one-time money or something. So the reason why I'm really recommending the Roku plates is because I genuinely think they are super helpful, not because they are sponsored. All right, so it was nice. I like it. Like I said, I think the Prospect Park part is probably going to be the most boring part, because it's very similar to Central Park. Since there are those little uphill ramps, I think they are going to be, when you are going to be racing here, you will need to engage some sort of strategy here, because on those ramps, attacks will be ever present, the same way on the bridges. And I think those routes, what I've seen so far, is very contextually appropriate for New York City map, because New York City map was always characteristic of this undulating terrain when it goes consistently up and down, and it's the same way here. So I think the longest route here, the Forget About It, that's going to be like real leg killer, and only really good riders will win there. So thank you guys for joining. If you like those live streams, don't forget to subscribe. Only about 25% of you that watch my content are subscribed, so hit that button. It really helps the channel to get to another viewer, maybe. And I will do next stream at the same time tomorrow, and tomorrow we will be racing, so there's going to be probably way less talk and way more tears. Okay guys, thank you, see you, enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.